Breaking news first here tonight on the WHAS11 night team. The Louisville Fire Department crews are still on the scene of a level 1 hazmat situation after a fire in Louisville's California neighborhood of the West End. Louisville Fire Department Major Bobby Cooper says while there's no need for any huge concern, he does say people living around South 26th and Howard Street, again South 26th and Howard Streets, need to keep their windows closed tonight and turn off their HVAC. Crews were called to that intersection around 7:45 tonight for the fire at Lanning Chemical Company, which has chemicals used to make paint products like finishes and varnishes.
Crews initially started to make entry once they saw the amount of fire, the fire volume, the types of chemicals inside, not being able to identify those right away. They backed out and we went defensive.
More than 50 firefighters responded to the scene because of the building's size, the chemicals involved, and the high temperatures outside. MSD is monitoring the situation because of concerns over possible runoff. No injuries have been reported there at 26 and Howard Streets. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Doug Proffitt. Also tonight, an emotional candlelight vigil leads to a message for thousands of Kentuckians tonight. Family and friends gathered in Westport Village of eastern Jefferson County to remember 35-year-old Ashley Yates, a day before she's laid to rest. WHAS11 night teams Connor Steffen and Ian Hardwitt were there as countless people paid their respects. They are live tonight at Westport Village with the message coming from family members tonight. Connor?
Doug, understandably, this loss is still too much for this family. Like you said, they're set to bury Ashley tomorrow. Ahead of that, they gathered here at Westport Village, not just to remember the life lost, but to share a message they hope can impact thousands more Kentuckians.
The simple embrace between those in mourning.
Ashley Adele Yates is being celebrated by each and every one of us.
Is how the family of Ashley Yates is keeping her memory alive.
And it's the hugs that I miss the most and that I think everybody's going to miss.
Ashley's Aunt Becky is missing those hugs a little bit extra today, as are many. Gathered here around this makeshift memorial, feet from where Ashley lost her life Friday.
It's like trying to figure out the number pi, trying to figure out how many lives that she's touched and how many people she's interacted with.
The thing Ashley's younger brother Andrew remembers most.
I can remember telling her that she'll be such a good mama because of how she was with my boys.
Police say Ashley lost her life to gun violence after leaving work at a men's hair salon. She was shot in the parking lot at Westport Village. The man accused of shooting her has been identified as Zachary Hines by the Jefferson County coroner. He was Ashley's on and off again boyfriend. Police say Hines then took his own life Saturday.
I believe that God is in control of everything, and he's got her now.
Ashley's family says she was a longtime victim of an abusive relationship.
Ashley has always served a bigger purpose than herself, and I believe that now it is to raise awareness.
A recent study found nearly half of Kentucky women, 45%, and around 36% of men experienced or are threatened by intimate partner violence. That's not lost on anyone here, which is why they have this message to share.
If you see somebody and you know somebody that's having trouble in their relationship or you're stuck in an abusive relationship, ask for help and get out.
Struggling with unthinkable loss, but confronted with the silver lining that in her death, Ashley Yates and her story may help thousands more.
Now, through this vigil, Ashley's family is collecting donations for the Center for Women and Children. That's to help combat domestic violence. They're also raising money for St. Jude's Hospital. If you're interested in donating, we do have a GoFundMe link on our website, WHAS11.com. We're live here in Westport Village. Connor Steffen, the WHAS11 night team, on your side.
Connor, thank you. And as always here on WHAS11, we want to remind you, if you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, the Center for Women and Families has a 24/7 around-the-clock emergency hotline. Just call this number, 1-844-237-2331. By the way, you can also simply dial Metro United Way at 211. New tonight on the night team, a Bowling Green, Kentucky police officer has been flown to the hospital tonight after he was shot at a car lot there. Our affiliate, WBKO in Bowling Green, reports the shooting happened at a car mart not far from the Western Kentucky University campus. Investigators have not said what led up to the shooting or the officer's condition. In a tweet sent out tonight, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear asked for prayers for the officer, their family, and fellow officers. Kentucky State Police is handling the shooting investigation. Students and staff in Oldham County are mourning the loss of a beloved teacher there and wrestling coach killed in a shooting in Washington, D.C. The exact details leading up to the death of 25-year-old Maxwell Emerson are still unclear tonight, and a suspect is still on the run. Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie spoke with those who knew Emerson and share the latest update from D.C. Police.
The halls of Oldham County High are lined with the Emerson name.
Like you see right there, he won the state title his senior year.
Especially Maxwell Emerson, a hugely successful wrestler when he was a student, now years later passing that knowledge down as both a coach and teacher himself.
We knew what he was talking about, so it kind of gave us respect, and he went through the exact same stuff.
The varsity wrestling team is grappling with the fact they couldn't even say goodbye.
When we first got there, we didn't even talk. We just sat there.
Yeah, we were just in such disbelief. It was just like we were outside. We were all just sitting on the driveway. It was just silent.
A spokesperson with Oldham County Schools tells me Emerson was in the nation's capital for a Library of Congress teacher development program. The trip took a tragic turn on the Catholic University of America campus Wednesday when D.C. police say a man shot Emerson and then ran off. In a new update tonight, police elaborating on the timeline.
Based on video evidence, detectives observed the victim and suspect walking together and arriving at the location of the offense together. Detectives are still investigating if there is a potential connection between the victim and suspect.
Back in Kentucky, Emerson's sister confirming she believes her brother was robbed at gunpoint and Snapchatted his mother, who was also on the trip, for help when it happened. Meanwhile, in the midst of this investigation,
he was definitely called to teaching.
Oldham County High School teacher Julie Bauscher is remembering a man she saw make a real impact on young students.
They would go to his classroom all the time. All students would just check in. There was a vulnerability that he was willing to give to students and allow them to have with him. So there was a transparency, and you can tell they loved him.
And those students plan to honor him.
Remember everything he's told me and try and push myself as hard as I can.
By carrying on his legacy. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
Today in Washington, the Catholic University community gathered for a prayer service in Emerson's honor. Organizers say while Emerson was not part of their community, they wanted to pray for him, his family, and the police officers working to solve his case.
Any loss of innocent life, we lament and we mourn, and so that's why we came together this morning. Even though the deceased is not someone we knew, it's not even someone local to our area, but still we're saddened by the loss of his life, shocked by the violence that brought it about.
In a statement, the university says they are working with D.C. police in their investigation. A man who pleaded guilty to killing a 4-year-old girl from Shelbyville received his sentence today. Dakota Hill apologizing to Serenity McKinney's family in the courtroom.
I think of Serenity every single day and of the time we had together. And I think of how my choices have taken all of that away for everyone and cut her life short.
Hill receiving a 50-year sentence after pleading guilty to murdering the little girl and hiding her body. Hill was the girlfriend of Serenity's mother, Catherine McKinney, also known as Abby. She also pleaded guilty to manslaughter in this case.
I'm trying to find forgiveness in him and in Abby. But that takes time. When you break a bone, it takes time for the bone to heal. Even though this pain, I'd much rather have broken bones than deal with this type of heartache.
Hill will be eligible for parole after serving 85% of his sentence. And all new tonight, WHAS 11 News has learned that Grammy Award-winning artist Carly Pearce will be returning her $75,000 payout to Jeffersonville city leaders. Pearce originally canceled her scheduled appearance at the Jammin' and Jeff concert due to the approaching severe weather Saturday night. Pearce's representative saying in part to WHAS 11 News in a statement tonight, the advance deposit paid to Carly is in the process of being returned. They added Pearce truly wishes she could have performed as planned. Jeffersonville Mayor Mike Moore, also responding to WHAS 11 News tonight, originally called the situation disheartening, now telling us tonight that he wishes Carly the best and appreciates her refunding the money, the $75,000. Tonight, a follow-up to the story we brought you last night right here on the WHAS 11 Night Team. A sizable crowd of neighbors turning out tonight to tell the state, don't change Brownsboro Road. The plan would slow down speeders, add some bike lanes, and better turning lanes from Melwood Avenue to Chenoweth Lane in St. Matthews. As the night team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie show us, residents are good with repaving, but that's about it.
Brownsboro, one of the oldest and most traveled state roads in Louisville, and tonight people have strong feelings about it.
It's a nightmare at 5 o'clock. Traffic backs all the way up to Mesh.
A blueprint and presentation of Brownsboro Road's potential right-sizing project was shown to residents who live near the street or use the road a lot.
I'm telling you, semis aren't good on this kind of road.
Some of them are not too happy with the plan to reduce the 4 lanes.
My biggest fear is traffic congestion and somebody getting hurt. And it's going to slow down traffic. I can tell you between 3 and 5.
And the project starts right here at the intersection of Brownsboro and Melwood Avenue,
going on a 3-mile stretch,
ending right here at the intersections of Brownsboro Road and Chenoweth Lane.
The purpose of this community conversation could help change the design of the proposal or determine whether or not the project actually happens.
For me, you know, I've lived so long with it the way it is that I'm a little torn about what I really feel should happen.
Metro Council member Andrew Owen says the state's main objective for these projects are for automobile safety. This project will reduce the street to 3 total lanes, 1 going in each direction with a turn lane in the center and bike lanes on the sides.
When they can reduce a 4-lane road down to 3 with a center turn lane, that's where they focus their attention. And it just so happens that right now we've had a bunch in the 9th District recently.
Owen says these lanes would also slow down aggressive drivers.
Lower the traffic speed. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. You can't have these heavy trucks going down this street on a 2-lane road. Somebody's going to get killed.
In the end, some view this idea as a dead end. Taylor Woods for the WHAS11 night team, on your side.
By the way, if you weren't able to go to the meeting tonight, you can still share your feedback online. We've got the link for you on WHAS11.com right in this story tonight.